Hello and welcome to Module 2, Partial Derivatives and Linear Approximations. So last module we talked about some surfaces. So we started to learn some basic surfaces. Those were three variable surfaces, right? With function, we're going to be learning about functions of two variables, which are surfaces, f of x, y. So your variables x, y, and your f of x, y is your z. So generally you're going to have three variables, right? You can think of a function of two variables as a surface with a domain that is a subset of the xy plane. So it's kind of like the shadow of that surface on the xy plane is your domain, with your z values creating that surface above it. I'm going to want you to be able to calculate derivatives of two variable functions. How do you do that? Well, we call that partial derivatives. You will have to compute the derivative of a two variable function with respect to x or y. You can do mixed partial derivatives as well. F x y, f y x, which are going to be equal for most functions. Clause's theorem states that, so make sure you know that one. And then finally, you're going to be learning about level curves of two variable functions as well. In order to get a level curve of a two variable function, you set your z value, your f of x, y, to a constant. Once you set to a constant, that will create a two-dimensional curve. And that's kind of like how a lot of 3D printers, I kind of imagine 3D printers printing, is they create the level curves, and then as they create level curves, they finally create that surface. Additionally, tangent planes, so you should be able to calculate tangent planes at any particular point on a surface and use those tangent planes, those linear approximations, to approximate a value on the surface. So you create the plane that's tangent to a point, you can plug in any value, any x and y values, and you get an approximation of the surface. Now, for Module 2, it's much more straightforward than Module 1, much less things to do. I have a lot of videos and support here for you, but the activities are very basic, very typical. You're going to be turning in by Wednesday night your 6 homework problems, uploading those to your discussion 2. Your group will work around those and submit those problems in the group problems 2 by Sunday night, and then you'll also have your web assigned Sunday night. Your first major project is due Module 5. So I wouldn't look at it yet, but start looking at it in about a week and start to familiarize with what it's starting to ask. So as you're learning these modules, you can kind of refer back to, okay, this is what we're going to have the expectation be for your project. All right, so good luck with Module 2.